Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our brick. Remember we made the stone block, I'm sorry, the block instead of the brick. All right, hit F to frame it. So there's our stone block. All right. Okay, so there it is. Right now, if we look at the poly count, it's 886,000 polygons. That's obviously going to be a bit much. If we're going to look to make a stone wall, because I want to make a wall, a single wall, that way I can just import it into the mausoleum model and line stuff up and then adjust as I need to make the walls. But obviously at 886,000 polygons, as soon as I start doing, say, 5 across, that's 3 million or 4 million polygons, and then 5 up, that's another 4. It starts to get outrageous. So what I want to do for this is I want to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this mesh really quickly. And then I'm going to go over here to our Z plugins. I'm going to click it. I'm going to go to Decimation Master. Decimation Master is a really great suite inside ZBrush where you can take a model, lose none of the details, but it'll lose all of the stuff you don't need. So right now, let's go ahead and do this at, say, 10%, just to see. And let's go ahead, and what you have to do is this is a percentage. How much do you want it to not be knocked down to? I want 90% of extra gotten rid of, as close as I can. So I only need the 10%. Then you click this button here, pre-process the current. And what it'll do is it's actually going to analyze the mesh. As it goes through, you can see it jumps it pretty quickly. It hangs a little bit, but trust me, it's actually calculating. And it's going to give me the best results for the number I'm looking for. So it's done, but now it's only done calculating, but we now need to decimate it. So we click this button right here, decimate current. All right, so now it's going to go through the model and run through it. And there it is, 88,000 polygons. All right. Let's take a quick look at the difference between it and the one underneath it. Let's turn off the original one. So this is the 88,000 polygon model. So if I use my arrow key down, if I just go down one on the arrow key, all right, so there's the 886,000, there's the 88,000. So that makes it a whole lot easier for us. But unfortunately, if we hit Shift F, you can see there's no rhyme or reason to the polygons. There's no edge looping, nothing. Whereas at least with the other one, we had our different edge loops, etc. All right. Now, technically, it really doesn't matter for this particular piece if we have edge loops that are correct. I mean, because this is going to be done something for, say, being done as a 3D print, it really doesn't matter if I have edge loops correct or not. So the fact that I'm getting this in here and at the polygon count it is, I'm okay with that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that as it is. I'm going to go arrow key down to the original block that we have, and I'm just going to go ahead and click delete. We don't need it anymore, so let's not use it. I mean, there's just no point. All right, so with that said, I can now hit the frame off. I'm going to hit P to get out of perspective. All right, so one of the really cool things in ZBrush is if I turn on my action line, the transpose action line, let's say, and I draw my line out and decide I'm going to move this, if I hold my control key down as I do this, I've just made a copy. All right, let's go ahead and get that kind of there. And it's masked for me right off the bat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and once again, R for rotate. I'm going to click this and I'm just going to turn the brick around a little bit and I'll move it forward. Oops. Sorry. Let's make sure we're in W for move. Okay, something like that. And then obviously we need to move it down. Here we go. All right. Again, to show you how to do that, I'm going to draw another line. I'm just going to grab the center ring, hold my control key, and then click and drag. All right. As you'll notice, I'm still just in one subtool, but I'm making multiple pieces of that. Again, we're going to draw a line or a new action line, R, and we're going to rotate this one around because again, we've got the different bricks, we want to make sure that we're looking like we're not the same thing all over. Okay, and I need to move this one back just a tad. Oops. Do make sure it's W and R. W move, R rotate. All right. Draw a new action line. I'm going to hold my control key. I'm going to click and drag that one over here. Say something like that. Okay. And then, in fact, I'll do it one more time. I'll just draw a new line, hold my control key, drag a new copy. And this time, I'll go to the top view, hit R, and I'm going to rotate it completely around. And W, we're going to go ahead and move this back into position. If I clear my mask, Control, draw a rectangle in the background. Well, there we go. We have our first line of rocks. Okay. What I will go do now is go down to our polygroups, hit Shift F. As you can see, it's all the same polygroup because we're making copies of it. So we're going to click on the auto group. That way it'll actually group these out into different pieces. As you can see, we now, I don't know if you can see, there you go. You have 4 different colors, 4 different pieces. That means control the Shift F, I can control click on any one of these and have it singular. All right. So now what we want to do is save this up because I want to make sure we don't lose anything. And I'm going to call it the stone wall. All right. So what we now need to do is we need to duplicate this. And I'm actually duplicating the subtool, not within the subtool itself. I'm duplicating the subtool. W, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to move it down. Okay. Now, obviously, this is an exact duplicate, etc. We don't necessarily want that there, so I'm going to go ahead and do a new line, R, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate the whole thing. Yeah, something like that. And redraw, redraw our action line, pull it down a little bit. There we go. Oops, yeah, something like that. This one's up a little high, so I'm going to, by the way, what you just saw me do, let me clear that. As soon as I went for drawing a new line and then clicked on just the one stone, it masked everything else for me automatically. ZBrush is pretty good about that. So let's go ahead and move this down just a skosh. There we go. All right. And also, I want to make sure that we're going to move this like one block off because, you know, the blocks aren't supposed to line up quite like that. All right, something simple like that. But of course, that leaves us like half a brick. Well, what are we going to do with half a brick? How are we going to get half a brick? Very simply, I'm going to go ahead and, just to make it stupid simple, I'm going to duplicate the subtool, hide it. I only need 2 bricks. I need, actually, I only need 1 brick. I only need 1 brick. So let's grab this 1 brick. We're going to go down to Geometry, Modify Topology. Again, this is one of the ones I love, and Delete Hidden. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in, Shift F. I'm going to Control Shift and get onto my marquee, and we're going to go for a slice curve. So I'm going to left click and just drag a line that's about straight. We now have 2 different polygroups. All right, so we're going to go up to Subtool. We're going to go to Split, Group Split. That splits these 2 items, because they're 2 different groups, into 2 different subtools. So yes, always okay. So the one that is blue, that's the one that I'm actually on right now. Let's go ahead and turn this one off. So you can see we have a hole. Well, again, I'm just going to go to Geometry and Close Hole. Shift F. I can look to add in, make this all stony a little bit later. It's not something I have to worry about right now. If I use my up and down arrow keys on my keyboard and move down one, I can now go to the next subtool. Let's turn the top one off. And again, the same thing. I can go to Geometry and Close Holes. So I now have my half a brick, all right? So let's turn on these subtools. Okay, so I don't need this particular subtool on this side. I think I'm going to need it over here. Let's turn that one on. Yes. So W, I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to put that over here. Actually, you know what I should do? Yes, I will do it over here. Let's see. And let's zoom in. Yeah, we're off a little bit. Now, if I want to be smart, if I don't want this part showing at all, what I could do is technically hide it on the interior here. I still have to break up a little bit of the edge, but that's okay. Maybe that'd probably be the smart thing to do. So I can go ahead and just rotate this around, for instance, and then move it back in, something like that. Oops, and we are off in the rotation, so that's okay. I'm just going to move this back. All right, so that could do. But then again, you know what? I can go ahead and leave this as it was, because that's going to be hidden. Once I intersect the two walls, that's going to be hidden anyway. So I'll leave it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn on that brick, W, and let's go ahead and just drag that over here. Same thing, there's no sense me doing any fixes to this because, again, it's going to be hidden. So I'll leave it as it is. Now, which one goes to which? All right, so we know it's not that one. Actually, if we're on that one, it is this one. It's this one. Okay, so we're going to grab this subtool, and we're going to use this arrow key up. This will actually shift the subtool up. All right, so we can turn that one on. We've got this. We've got everything lined up. Everything works. Let's go to our merge and merge down. Yes, we want to merge down. Okay. Now that only leaves two pieces left, so let's grab this one. Again, with our shifting, we're going to shift it. Oops, actually it was good to go. Sorry. So we can leave it as it is. Just turn on this one and go ahead and do a merge down. Awesome. So we now have the wall that has the two half edges as we're going to need them built into them right off the bat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a new action line, and I'm going to, I'm going to duplicate, and then I'm just going to pull this up for here. And then what I think I'll do is I will turn this over again, R, and we're going to go ahead and click, click, click. There we go, something like that. Oops, yeah, I'm off. You can see I'm off a little bit here. Let's zoom in. And we're going to go ahead and pull this back just a skosh. Something more like that. Oh, I can see I've got to do these two bricks up a little bit. Let's go ahead and go W. And we're going to pull this up. There we go. Arrow key down. I'm going to go ahead and grab, let me do a control shift, change that, control shift that, W, and oops, something like that. There we go. Okay. All right, same thing here. We're going to duplicate this. I'm trying to get about 5 bricks in and then about 5 high. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and rotate this completely around. And one more time. And then we're going to W and shift this around right here. There we go. Something like that. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here. With the move key on, I'm just going to go ahead and scale it. Oops. Let's scale it from this edge. And we're just going to scale this out a little bit there. And we're going to actually pull this one in a little bit. Okay. Actually, I need to move this one over a little bit. Let's go ahead and just do Control Shift. Dot in the background to invert it. W. And let's move it over. It's intersecting on that one brick. I want to be careful that we're not doing that. All right. And then lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this W, and I'm going to move it now down as the bottom row. Something like that. I'm going to hit P just to take a look at the perspective view of this and do a quick BPR. Well, that was interesting. I hadn't seen that viewport error before. And I'm still getting it. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead, save your file. Make sure you save your stone wall up. And I'm going to actually merge, I think, and merge all of these subtools. So merge down, merge down, merge down, merge down. Do BPR. Best preview render. That's odd that I'm still getting that. I should not be getting that with that. Must be something, I've never seen that before. Should not be getting that. Oh, it does it from that side. Oh, that's because I'm on the back side. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I figured it out. All right. So, and I just saw a couple quick errors that I got to fix. What happened for this particular piece is when I did the scaling, I forgot to grab this and make sure it actually scaled up with it. So I'm going to pull this in here like that. Yes, there we go. See how it's stretched inward? When I forgot when I sealed this originally, when I deleted the holes and then sealed and then capped it, it made a new poly group, and I forgot about that. So when I scaled those two bricks, it kept the interiors where they were and let me move the brick. So be careful of that. I want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes on that. Let's go ahead and call this up as 3. All right, we'll continue.